Alright guys, what's going on? Steve Supremo here. Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're getting back to the roots of the channel. You know, I've been doing a lot of pickups and stuff lately, going over Facebook deals and all this stuff, but I also love talking about games, and I haven't talked about a game in a while, and today we're going to be talking about a couple of them. You know, this video is inspired from Femtrooper. Go check out her channel on YouTube. She surpassed 10,000 subscribers this year, so congratulations to her. Been a big fan of her channel for a long time. Back in the days of Another Gaming Podcast, she was one of our favorite people in our chat, and I just love everything about her channel and her as a person. She's awesome, so go check out her channel. But she inspired this video. I saw the idea from her and I was like, man, I gotta take that and do it on my own. And it was games that we have dropped and put down, we stopped playing. And I'm sure all of us, like, you can count countless games that you probably bought, put down, whether it was either being disappointed in it, maybe it was too hard, or it just wasn't clicking with you. Everyone has a reason to put a game down. So I got a couple here I'm going to talk about, and then save the heavy hitter for last, which if you're a fan of the channel and been following me for a while, you know which one it is already. So without further ado, let's get into some of these games and talk about why we dropped them. All right, a repeat from Paige's video. It will be linked in the description, so go check out her video. But she talked about this one as well, and that is Bravely Default. But the reason I dropped it is from different reasons than her. She dropped it because it started to get too difficult for her. Spoiler alert for her video. But for me personally, Bravely Default, I thought it was a great game. I loved the auto battle system it incorporated. Visually, it just looked awesome, so appealing to the eye, and the gameplay was this traditional JRPG gameplay that I really truly loved. The unfortunate thing that happens in it is it comes to a point, and I think we're far enough from where the game has released now, is where, if I remember correctly, you hit a point and it kind of erases everything you did, or you have to go back and do it all over again. And that part right there, it just ended it for me. It's like, what? I gotta go back and go through all these dungeons and stuff again, do everything for a second time, and with that I put it down. So unfortunately I was enjoying the game, I just did not want to go back through and do everything again. So if you're someone who's finished it, let me know if it's worth doing just to see the ending of it again. So I should go back and play for it, but for now, that game's going to be donezo for me. All right, another one we have here. This one's on the Nintendo Switch. This is one that I'm going to have a video coming out in the future on it, and that's Looters. I love Looters, Diablo style, Borderlands, anything that gives me tons of loot. I love playing those types of games. I just get addicted to them. This one right here, my good friend Alex Return to Mother Base, he knows I love them. He recommended, well, you got to play this game, and that is Victor Bran. Unfortunately, this just did not click with me, even though it has awesome music in it from Motorhead. Just the gameplay and the loot factor, just, it wasn't grabbing me. I just did not like it. And most of the time, for me to really not like a game, it takes a lot, but I just found myself getting bored with it and just wasn't hitting that loot satisfaction. And to this day, he won't let it down that I just did not like that game. But great, it's got Motorhead in it, it's awesome, but just the combat style and everything, it just was not clicking for me. Van Helsing though, and Diablo and everything, I get into those, but for some reason, Victor Bran just wasn't hitting those buttons for me, so it got dropped. The next one might come as a surprise for a lot of people because I love the series now. But this is one I will go back to, and that is Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on the Wii U. A series that I truly love now, from starting with really getting into it in Monster Hunter World, and then playing Monster Hunter Rise, loving that game. I think I can go back and start tackling some of the true Monster Hunter games now that were more of the old style with all the loading zones and everything. But this was going to be my first journey into it. This was my first journey into it. Got it on the Wii U, me, Dustin Christ, and I remember us going online to do co-op. And just the very first monster you have to fight in like the co-op lobby, we couldn't do it. It has like an hour time limit. We're 45 minutes into the fight. We get killed. we tried to do it again, get killed. It was just so tough. It was insanely tough. But now I know how to play the games. I know that there's an online hub where those bosses are actually harder than main story single player mode that kind of gets you into it, so you can build and work your gear up, and then you can be more prepared for the battles online. This is all stuff I did not know about back then, managing the stamina and stuff like that. It was just a lot to grasp. And now that I am a Monster Hunter, I don't want to say veteran, but now that I'm Monster Hunter adept, I think I can go back and tackle this now for all it's worth. I even got a bunch of the older ones I can't wait to start diving into. So even though I put Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate down back in the day, I'm going back and playing this bad boy, and I can't wait, because I know a lot of people hold this one in high regards. All right, the next one here, Returnal on the PlayStation 5. Why would you put Returnal down? It's such a great game. It kind of feeds that need for me with, I love Dark Souls, challenging style type of games. Like, this should have been up there, just a shooter style of it. Unfortunately, even though I do enjoy playing it, I admit this just got too tough for me. It got too hard, and I could not get past. I think there's only like 5, maybe 6 worlds that you go to, then you beat the game. I've gotten all the way up to 4, and I just cannot get past it. The game has broken me. I've tried countless times. I put over probably 25 to 30 hours into it trying to do it, and I just can't do it. So this was one of the first ones. Sekiro was actually the first game I ever had to bow out of, but I came back and conquered it. Kinda, sorta. But this one just, it has me beat, y'all. I cannot get over the hump with it. I've looked up strategies like the best weapon setups and everything, and my skill has plummeted. I am no longer as skilled as I was in the past, so Returnal has kicked my butt, and even though I enjoyed playing it, it has great gameplay and I love the loop of it, I just can't beat it. So I had to put it down. Alright, and last but not least, and this is the big one that if you followed the channel, you know I've talked about it in the past. I do not have the original Super Nintendo cart, and I no longer have the DS cart on which I initially tried playing this entry on, and that is Chrono Trigger. Yes, you can get out your pitchforks. I know you can burn me at the stake. Chrono Trigger, the much beloved Super Nintendo JRPG that everyone loves. They hold it in, like, if it's not number 1, it's like number 2 for a lot of people on the Super Nintendo. Top 3 at least. I just could not get into it, guys. It was just so boring. The first 3 to 4 hours I put into that game, I just could not get into the loop. It just, I think that's a thing for me and a lot of Super Nintendo era JRPGs. Maybe that's why I had so much trouble clicking with them back in the day. I didn't get into JRPGs until I got older. You know, PS2, early PS1 generation, where I actually played Final Fantasy VIII was my true first time trying to play a JRPG and really getting into it then. But still, I wasn't hooked into them. I was more into action adventure games and stuff like that. My shooters, playing Halo 2 online. Again, it wasn't until later on and discovering people on YouTube and hearing about games like Dragon Quest from Dustin Grice and Happy Console Gamer, and how my love for JRPGs really started to develop. So I went back and tried to play Chrono Trigger, and just, I could not get into it. I was just so bored with it. And I know just people love it. They love the story with it, the time travel, the different amount of ways you can beat it, the different endings. It's just, it wasn't for me. Is it something I'd like to try again in the future? Most definitely. I'd like to try to sit down and again in the future, give it a chance, and see if I can really get into it. But for now, it's just one that is dropped. Until I play it again and give it another shot and really truly see, it's like, okay, I get what everyone's saying now, why this is one of the GOATs of the JRPG genre. But until then, I'm sorry, it's shelved. So there you go, guys. Those are my few handful of picks of some games that I've put down. Of course, there's been more, but I decided to spit those out and share them with you. let me know in the comments below. What games have you put down? Do a video of this, tag Paige in it, and let's get this thing going. Like back in the old days where one person would do a video and there'd be a video response, then another video response. That's the old kind of YouTube stuff that I miss. So do your tag, put your list down there, and again, go check out Paige if you haven't already. If you're a fan of this channel, I'm sure you've already been to her channel from the past. So thanks again for Paige for making that video and producing this idea, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.